They walk among us, unaware, people with an M etched into their palms and a faint crescent, often mistaken for a wrinkle. But according to a forgotten quatrain of Nostradamus, 2025 is the year they awaken, and the fate of the world may rest in their hands. Literally, chosen by destiny, the marked ones of 2025. Hook. Some say it's a coincidence. Others call it destiny etched in flesh. But across continents and cultures, a growing number of people are discovering the same strange markings on their palms. An unmistakable M and a soft crescent moon. And according to a cryptic passage believed to be from Nostradamus, 2025 is the year the marked ones begin to fulfill their purpose. Introduction. For centuries, palm readers have whispered about rare signs said to appear only once in an age, lines that cross in an M shape, and a curved moon-like ridge beneath the pinky. But never have so many reported them at once. TikToks, Reddit threads, and spiritual forums are lighting up with claims from people finding the same marks on their hands and the same haunting feeling, like they've been called. The prophecy, an obscure quatrain attributed to Nostradamus, long dismissed as metaphor, is now resurfacing. It reads, "Marked by the moon and letter of fate, in 25 shall rise the gate. When shadows stretch and silence falls, the chosen few shall hear the call." Interpretations suggest that those bearing the marks will play a crucial role in a world-shaking event, a spiritual awakening, a collapse, or a rebirth of forgotten knowledge. Whether literal or symbolic, people are paying attention. The mystic's take. Modern mystics and astrologers believe these individuals are part of a soul group, old spirits returning to Earth to complete a mission that began lifetimes ago. Some say they're healers, others protectors. A few fear they're heralds of something darker. The science versus the spiritual. Skeptics argue the markings are just normal variations in palm lines, a trick of perception mixed with mass suggestion. But for those who bear the signs, the coincidence feels too personal to ignore, especially when dreams turn strange, when clocks stop at the same time, when strangers recognize them before a word is said. The secret society of the moon marked. They don't speak of it openly, but if you bear the M and the crescent moon on your palm, you may have already felt it, that unexplainable pull, that sense of being watched. You're not alone, and you never were. In 2025, the society is calling its own back into the fold. For centuries, scattered individuals have shared the same palm markings, a deep M formed by intersecting lines and a crescent moon tucked near the base of the hand. To most, it's a curiosity, but to a select few, it's a signal, an invitation, a warning. Whispers of a hidden society trace back to the 1500s, when Nostradamus allegedly sent encrypted letters to a secret brotherhood. These messages foretold the rise of an age where those with the moon mark would awaken to their true roles as keepers of forgotten knowledge. The society's origins, known only in hushed circles as the Order of the Crescent M, this group is believed to have operated in secret through wars, plagues, and revolutions. Their purpose? To protect ancient wisdom tied to celestial cycles, consciousness, and human destiny, knowledge too dangerous for public hands. Each generation, they identify the marked at birth and watch them, train them, and when the time is right, initiate them. Why 2025? Astrologers point to rare alignments in 2025. Energy workers report surges, and deep within obscure texts attributed to Nostradamus and other mystics, the year appears again and again as a threshold, the moment the marked ones either rise or are silenced. Initiations and symbols. Those who claim to have been approached speak of strange tests, dream sequences, messages in mirrors, meetings in abandoned places. Their stories match, even when they've never met. The crescent moon appears repeatedly, encoded graffiti, encrypted websites, even buried in the architecture of old churches and cathedrals. Conspiracy or calling? Critics dismiss it all as myth mixed with internet lore. But those who felt the dream pull, the déjà vu, the unbearable sense of destiny, they know something is coming. The science behind the symbols. Fact or folklore? What if the M and crescent moon on your palm aren't signs of ancient power, but just natural patterns we've turned into prophecy? In 2025, as Nostradamus fever grips the internet, science and folklore are colliding in the most unusual of places: your hand. It starts innocently enough. You glance at your palm. You notice a curious M shape formed where three lines intersect: the head, the heart, and the lifeline. Maybe just below your pinky finger, you see a subtle arc, a curved indentation resembling a crescent moon. Then you stumble across a viral TikTok or Reddit post claiming, "If you have these marks, you're one of the chosen in 2025." Thousands of comments follow. People are comparing palms, sharing strange dreams, reporting synchronicities. Some say they've felt different their whole lives. Others claim their lives changed the moment they noticed the signs. So, what's really going on here? Palmistry, ancient wisdom, or wishful thinking? Palmistry isn't new. It's been around for millennia, practiced by mystics, sages, and spiritual seekers in India, Egypt, China, and ancient Greece. The idea is simple but alluring. Our palms hold a map of our life, character, fate, even past karma, etched into our flesh. In palmistry, an M shape formed by major lines is seen as a mark of leadership, insight, or a connection to destiny. The crescent moon, especially if it curves near the base of the palm, is sometimes associated with intuition, spiritual gifts, or emotional depth. But according to dermatoglyphics, the scientific study of skin patterns, these lines are just the result of pressure, movement, and genetics during fetal development. They are as biologically random as fingerprints. Still, is that the whole story? The psychology of belief, why we see meaning in lines. Humans are meaning makers by nature. Psychologists call this apophenia, our brain's tendency to find patterns in random data. A cloud that looks like a face, a shadow that seems like a figure, a line on your palm that resembles a symbol. Combine that with a dose of confirmation bias, the tendency to notice evidence that supports what we want to believe. And suddenly, a simple palm line becomes a personal prophecy. This is especially powerful in times of instability, like, well, now. In a post-pandemic world grappling with climate anxiety, AI disruption, and spiritual emptiness, people crave meaning, a personal connection to something bigger. And what could feel more personal than a secret message written on your own skin? Why 2025? Why now? The year 2025 has become a sort of mystic lightning rod. Some point to astrological shifts, Pluto in Aquarius, solar eclipses, or rare planetary alignments. Others reference obscure Nostradamus quatrains with lines like, "Marked by the moon and letter of fate, in 25 shall rise the gate." While many historians argue that Nostradamus wrote in cryptic language specifically so his predictions could be applied to any era, believers see patterns that feel tailor-made for today's chaos. Whether it's climate tipping points, global political shifts, or a collective spiritual hunger, we're looking for a turning point. And some say 2025 is it. Skepticism versus spirituality, a false divide. While scientists dismiss the markings as coincidence and mystics embrace them as destiny, the truth may lie somewhere in between. After all, even if a symbol is not real in a measurable way, the impact it has on someone's identity, confidence, or purpose is undeniably real. Some psychologists even suggest that belief in personal symbolism, whether in astrology, palmistry, or dreams, can offer mental clarity, help process trauma, or guide decision-making. The trick is in balancing empowerment with discernment. 2025, the year of the moon, marked, they said it was superstition, a wrinkle, a coincidence. But now, in 2025, the signs have become impossible to ignore. Around the world, those bearing the ancient mark, the letter M, and a crescent moon on their palm, are awakening. And whether by destiny or design, they are being pulled towards something no one fully understands yet. The rise of a global mystery. From New York to Nairobi, Tokyo to Tulum, stories are converging. People with identical palm markings are reporting the same phenomena: shared dreams, time glitches, sudden intuition, an overwhelming sense of purpose they can't quite explain. Some speak of synchronicities, meetings with strangers who seem to know them. Others talk of visions, of places they've never been that now feel like home. And in spiritual circles, a name has begun to circulate: the moon-marked. The prophecy resurfaces. At the center of it all lies a long-dismissed quatrain, allegedly penned by Nostradamus. When the crescent rests on flesh, and M marks hand of fate, in the shadow of 25, the veiled shall rise, too late. Dismissed for centuries as poetic nonsense, the lines are now being reinterpreted. Scholars, mystics, and digital sleuths alike are asking, did Nostradamus foresee a global awakening? And if so, what happens to the rest of us? Who are the moon-marked? Palmists believe the crescent is a sign of heightened intuition, and the M symbolizes mastery, of mind, of mission, of mystery. In ancient cultures, these markings were considered rare, sacred, but in 2025, they're appearing with uncanny frequency. Some believe the moon-marked are part of a reincarnated soul tribe, returned to complete a forgotten mission. Others suggest they are being activated, awakened by unseen forces, planetary shifts, or something buried deep in our genetic memory. Skeptics and scientists weigh in. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Skeptics point to psychological phenomena like confirmation bias and apophenia. Dermatoglyphic experts explain the markings as common variations in palm creases. But even among scientists, there's a growing recognition. Something is happening. Whether psychological, energetic, or sociocultural, this movement is real. People are changing. The call of 2025. What began as a curiosity is now a calling. More and more individuals are stepping forward, sharing their stories, forming quiet communities. They're watching the sky, watching each other, and preparing, though for what, no one can say for certain. One thing is clear: 2025 is not just another year. It's a threshold, a turning point, the year of the moon marked,